Ontario's Auditor General says our probation and parole system is a mess. Offenders are going unassessed, so we don't know whether they're high risks to reoffend, we don't know what their needs are for rehabilitation, and when we do know, there aren't enough ministry-run programs to help them. The union that represents probation officers says that's barely the half of it. There aren't enough of them, they say, to even go out and do compliance checks to make sure that offenders are living up to their conditions, that they're respecting curfews, that they're staying sober if they're supposed to stay sober, that they're not going on the internet to look at pornography if that's a condition of their probation or their parole. The reason for that is actually partly the union's fault. Back in 2004, they filed a complaint and determined that the conditions under which they were doing these checks weren't safe. What they want is a dedicated enforcement branch, guys with maybe bulletproof vests and possibly weapons to go out and do these things. Instead, what they got were a bunch of restrictions on when they can go. Only during business hours, for instance. You can't check if someone is respecting an evening curfew during business hours. So they don't do them. One of the reasons is that Ontario spends the second least of any province on probation and parole. $5.81 per offender per day. And it has one of the highest caseloads in Canada. No wonder the system's not working. Sometimes the solution is to spend a little more money in the interests of helping people who need help and protecting the rest of us who need protecting. For the Ottawa Citizen, I'm David Reefley.